Hello Retro Readers and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is what I read in December. In December, I believe I read 7 books. So without further ado, let's just begin. I participated in the Disney Channel Games Readathon. It's a lot of fun, and although I didn't get much reading into it, I did get some. I read 3 books for that readathon, which was all fun. As per usual, I will be putting my rating as well as Goodreads average rating up here. Because I like to compare the two, and I feel like maybe you guys like that too. So yeah, without further ado, let's just begin. The first book that I'm going to talk about is actually a book that I don't have physically, but I read it on a reading app that it's called Hoopla. The app is, and if you have a library card, you can link your library card with Hoopla, and then you get unlimited access to books. So that's really great. So I used Hoopla to read The Tourist Attraction by, I can't remember the author, but yeah. It is basically a romance that takes place in Alaska, and the guy, he lives in Alaska and he hates tourists, but the girl, she's a tourist, and they fall in love. I gave this book a 2 out of 5 stars, meaning I thought it was okay. My rating system, if you want to know: 1 star, I hated it; 2 stars, it was okay; 3 stars, I liked it; 4 stars, I really liked it; and 5 stars, I loved it. So I thought it was okay. I didn't necessarily like either of the characters. They were very irritating, and honestly, there was no chemistry between them, so I wasn't really rooting for their, like, when they got together, you know? It was just a whole mess. You know, I liked the concept of it. You know, takes place in Alaska, is a romance, but that's pretty much all I liked about it, was the concept. I didn't like the way it was written, or like just the way it was fleshed out. Not for me. I actually have been hearing only good things about this book, so I went on the group chat for like us fellow booktubers and I asked if anybody read The Tourist Attraction and what they thought about it, and actually 2 people read it and they both didn't like it. One of them actually ended up, I believe, DNFing it, which honestly I would have done, but I was trying to make like a reading goal, you know, for the end of this year, which will be tomorrow's video. So anyways, yeah, I didn't necessarily like it, and neither did others. So I mean, that kind of made me happy. But anyways, yeah, The Tourist Attraction, 2 out of 5 stars. Wouldn't really recommend it unless you want like a mindless read. The next book that I want to talk about is what I read for Disney Channel Games Readathon as well, and that is A Christmas to Remember by Lisa Kleypas, Laureen Heath, Megan Frampton, and Vivian Lorette. So this is basically a anthology of historical romances. And I gave this another 2 out of 5 stars. Did not enjoy it. There was some stories in here that I did enjoy, like, let's see, Deck the Halls with Love by Laureen Heath, as well as No Groom at the Inn In by Megan Frampton. I rated those both 4 stars. But the other one, I Will, by Lisa Claypass, I rated 3. And the last story in here, The Duke's Christmas Wish by Vivian Loret, I rated a 2. Yeah. So basically this is a anthology of like a bind up of all Regency romances with steam. So basically it's Regency romances, and there's some really steamy scenes in here. Like, yeah. So if you are curious, then be warned. If you don't like steamy reads. I liked that the initial reason why I picked this up was because it was a love story. And I liked some of the love stories in here. It kind of got repetitive after a while. Let's see. I hated, like it started to sound like the same story, and yeah, it was, I think, I forgot to mention I did. Okay, I rated it a 2 out of 5 stars. I thought I didn't mention that, but yeah, not my cup of tea. I don't know. It could be yours. I don't know. At least there was some Christmassy things in here, because it is a Christmas to Remember, Christmas Regency romance bind-up, so yeah. Anyways, okay. The next book that I read was The Mavericks Holiday Surprise by Karen Rose Smith. If you guys want to see any of the DCG Games readathon wrap-up, or even like the vlogs I made reacting to the books in real time, cards. If you want to see this, I did a video all spoiler filled of this book, then cards. So anyways, yeah, this is a cowboy romance. And let's see, it basically is just a harlequin romance that's Christmassy, and it's a cowboy romance, so it's basically about a cowboy guy businessman meets a girl who is a daycare lady, and they fall in love, and yeah, I rated this 1 out of 5 stars. Did not like it. I even wrote on here what I liked about it, and I said no. Just nothing about it. It was kind of entertaining, but also really annoying, as you would see in the video. Be warned, the video is 30 minutes long, as per the usual. What I hated about this book was there was no chemistry between the characters, just, like, no. And there was no honesty between the characters, which is double no, and then it was so boring. So, yeah, don't recommend. It was entertaining to make a video about it, but other than that, that was all that was entertaining. Like, not even reading it was entertaining to me. The next book that I read was Touched by Angels by Debbie McComber? Yeah. McComber, right? Yeah, okay. I rated this a 2 out of 5 stars. There's a lot of 2 out of 5 or 1 out of 5 stars in this first section. Yeah, so I didn't necessarily like it. It was, yeah. Okay, so the summary is that there is 3 angels, and they meddle in some people's lives during Christmas time, and the people are 3 women who find romance, and they have their prayers answered. I liked some of the, like, some parts of the story, but it was really cliche, very much so. Yeah, and I actually almost DNF'd this. I don't remember what page I got on before I wanted to DNF it, but like I was this close, but then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stick it out. And I'm honestly kind of sad that I did, because it wasn't really that great. Now getting on to some of the better books that I read this month. Yeah, okay, so, you know, this is obviously going to be a good book for me because it is by Michael Crichton, and it is The Terminal Man by Michael Crichton. And let's see, I rated this a 3 out of 5 stars, which I was thinking of doing 3.5, but honestly, I'm gonna say 3. I really enjoyed it. It was a short read for me. It only took me like 2 days or something, but yeah. I love Michael Crichton's writing. I'm going to constantly say that. And honestly, this book, like, it was amazing. So what it's about is about this guy who he is a convicted felon, I guess, because he assaulted someone physically, like violently, and, well, several people. And he blacks out during these assaults, so he basically has like a brain damage for, yeah, so he basically has brain damage because he had an accident in the past, and yeah, this damage causes blackouts, seizures, and also he is very, he thinks that computers and technology and robots are going to take over the world and kill all humanity and basically destroy people's lives, quite literally. And so basically, in order to get rid of the blackouts and stuff and not be violent, which is something he wants, he has to have a chip implanted in his brain that is connected to wires and basically become a machine, and in his view. And yeah, it ends murderously. So yeah, this is a very good book. Only 261 pages if you guys want to read it. I liked the writing because obviously it's Michael Crichton. I'm always gonna like the writing. I love his writing. And also this book actually reminds me a little bit of Jurassic Park, which is my absolute favorite book by him. And so that's good. Michael Crichton is just an amazing author. I wish he was still alive so he could continue writing, but alas, he is not, and that is sad. R.I.P. Mr. Crichton. Anyways, okay. The only thing I hated about this book was the slow beginning. Usually Michael Crichton had, like, his books start out with a slow beginning, but then it starts picking up and it starts becoming really good. I also kind of felt like the ending was a bit unsatisfying, but also at the same time a little bit more satisfying, I guess. I have a love-hate relationship with the ending. Wild at Heart by K.A. Tucker. I love The Simple Wild. I rated that 5 out of 5 stars. And yeah, I didn't really like this one as much. I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars, which means I thought it was really good, but not like loved it, you know? The summary basically this is the second book in the romance series thing, The Simple Wild. So I'm not going to really say much about it, just know romance takes place in Alaska. And it's very steamy as well, so reader be warned. I liked the story, and I liked the characters, and I really loved the setting, and I loved the writing. So basically, pretty much everything. What I hated was the steamy scenes, like the sex scenes, basically were in it so much that it felt like at the end of each chapter, it felt like more of a period, like it was supposed to be there instead of like, you know, I don't know, like, I don't know, just, it read more like a period than like something you could just skip over, you know, like just mindlessly read. But yeah, I also hated that it was very slow paced. It took place over a year, and pretty much really slow paced. There was some parts in here that I liked, that I felt was a bit more fast paced, but most of it was pretty slow paced. But still, I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars. Really enjoy it. Yeah, definitely would recommend the first one more than the second one, but, well, obviously, but yeah, recommend the first one. Read The Simple Wild. It's great. So this last book that I read is actually a comic book, and I read it for the Disney Channel Games Readathon, as well as I also read The Wild at Heart by K.A. Tucker for Disney Channel Games Readathon. I technically did start reading the tourist attraction for Disney Channel Games Readathon, but I didn't finish it in time, so it doesn't count. But anyways, okay, what's the book? The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys by Gerard Way, Sean Simon, and Becky Clunan. I rated this a 4 out of 5 stars. Really liked it. I love this comic. I read it like 3 times, possibly. Basically, the summary is apocalypse with like war against the Killjoys, which are the rebels, and the Bly Company, which is basically an evil corporation that is like hogs all the electricity and stuff. That's the setting, and it follows this kid who was running with the true Killjoys, which are the original rebels, and yeah, follows after their death. The kid, she just, I don't know, is basically going into her destiny as the savior of this war. Yeah, so what I liked about this story was the art and the story, obviously. I also loved, after reading this, I actually listened to The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys, or I think it's just called Danger Days by My Chemical Romance, that whole album, because Gerard Way is part of My Chemical Romance, and yeah, I love that album. Yeah, so art, story, album, liked them. I didn't like that the ending felt a bit rushed, as per the usual in this whole thing. Anyways, but yeah, so the ending felt a bit rushed, and the last chapter was kind of confusing too, like, didn't even add to the story, but, well, it kind of did, but also, like, didn't, you know? But yeah, I would highly recommend this comic if you like, you know, apocalyptic comics. Like, kind of reminds me of Tank Girl, but I shouldn't say that because I haven't read the comics. I just watched like the, I think like 90s movie. But yeah, anyways, True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys. So that is all that I read this month. Quite a lot, but also not nearly enough to complete my reading goal for 2020, but alas, that's okay. It was unrealistic anyways. So anyways, yeah, December 2020 wrap-up is complete. Now, hopefully in 2021, I will meet my goal, which the reading goal now for 2021 is 90 books. So we'll see if I complete that. Hopefully I read more books that I own, which all the books I own, I mainly have never read. So those are basically just my TBR. And I got more books for Christmas. So hopefully I read, my goal is to read all the books, most books that I own in 2021. And not as much books that I can get from the library because I need to read the ones I already own. So anyways, yeah, that's all that I read. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give it a like, give it a comment what you read or what your favorite book that I read this year was. And if you like this channel, then go ahead and subscribe, but you do not have to. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the end of year survey wrap-up thing. Bye.